Hello, guys. Welcome back to the second episode of Let's Create The Last of Us. Okay. So, in this episode, we are going to fix the camera to more of a Last of Us style. And we're also going to set up a crouching animation for the stealth aspect of the game. And we're also going to be able to come up and choke out our enemy, break their neck like so. All right, guys, let's get into it. Okay, so let's start by setting up the crouching system by opening up the third person character blueprint. Now what I want to do is I want to test this out. So I go to viewport, I'll click on the capsule component, and I want to see it in the game. So if I go hidden in game and I untick it, that's good. I click on character movement and I click can crouch. Ooh, can crouch. And I tick it to be true. So it's now able to crouch. And I also want to change the half height. I've been half height, crouched half height. I want to change it to 60. Okay. I press compile, go to my event graph. All right. And in here, I'm going to use the C key. So C keyboard. And from here, I need a flip flop. And from A, I want to get can crouch. Or just crouch, isn't it? Crouch. Yeah, crouch. And then from the B, I want to uncrouch. Like so. All right. I press compile, I'll press play. I was testing something out before, so I'm just going to play an editor and see what happens. Oh, don't know what's happened here. Let me press play. It's done something to his I don't know. Joel Adams animation blueprint. Oh, I know, because I was testing this out. Okay, yes, this is not supposed to be here. That's for later. Sorry, guys. You're not supposed to see this. It's a surprise. Forgot to do that. Obviously, it's important to test out before you're making a video, so nothing goes wrong. Probably, and something still did go wrong. But anyway, if I press play, anyway, just to test this out, if I press C, you can see that the capsule is going into half height every time I press C, so it's toggling on and off. All right, I'll fix his blueprint now because we need to add the animations in there anyway. That's why. Yeah. Just compile, press play. Don't you guys worry about that. You won't have that issue. So yeah, he's moving around. Um, also, um, just a second. I click on the camera boom and let's put this back to how it was. So it was 400 and I'll undo that and I'll press compile. So this is how your game will look like. I do apologize. So C to toggle it on, C to toggle it off, like so. So then we'll play the animation when we're in there and the capture will fit us. So if our enemies are attacking us, etc., it'll work. Right, press escape. We already have these in here from part one. Okay. So what I need to do now is right click, create an animation blend space 1D. Legacy blend space 1D for Joel Skeleton, ABS underscore crouch. All right. Double click and open it up. The name of the horizontal axis will be speed. Only this speed will be 300, so he slows down when he's crouching. And over here on the right in the asset browser, I can get crouching idle, hold down shift and drop it on the axe, and then crouch walking, I'll put it at the end. I'll test this out by holding control, hover my mouse over, and you can see that's our blend space, and that's pretty good. I'm happy with that. All right. Few different things though. We can close this, we don't need it, but we need to go into our animation blueprint of Joel. Mine's already open, so why not? And obviously where we have our movement in the locomotion, we're going to make some changes here. Okay. So over here we have our crouch. We'll bring that in. Same velocity, only we've set it to 300 the blend space, so it's fine. What I'll need to do is get a blend by bool. So blend poses by bool. Okay. Oh, damn it. join the little man up to the result. And let's make some space. The original blend space will go into the false pose. And then we need to get our is crouching variable. Now to do that, I go to the event graph. It's really easy. I just come this probably up here, pull it down. The variable that we created, just type in is crouching. All right. And then from here, you can just right click and promote to a variable. And we'll call the variable hand crouch question mark. All right. I'll bring it up here like so. We'll join it up, press compile, back into my locomotion. You can see can crouch is here. I'll drop it on my active value, and then I'll press compile, press play, and now I can go straight into the crouch. So there's normal blend space. So I press C. I'm in the idle. Walking around now as well. Press C to go back into normal. Okay. So it all works. I just need to now get my capsule components and make it sure it's hidden in game. I don't need to see it anymore. So hidden in game. All right, cool. It's gone. Now let's put the camera up to how it should be. Okay. So click on camera boom. We're going to change the target arm length. I had it at 150. I kind of like that. The socket offset. Ooh, was it the Z I did? The Z I did. Was it 50? No, it wasn't it? 50, yes, it was. And then the y-axis, I did 45. Press compile. This is trial and error. Get it to how you want, but that gives me a real feel that I'm playing The Last of Us now. All right. I got my crouch. Okay, so there's the crouch. Now he's going. All right, I like it. I'm happy with that. Cool. So that's the first bit done. All right. Now let's create a stealth choke. All right. So basically, in the game, it's a really cool mechanic where he sneaks up and breaks the necks of the enemies. Let's do that. All right. So first of all, now the files for this part are in the link in the description. Okay. What I want to do first of all is I want to go to content. All right. I'm going to right click. I'm going to create a new folder. I'm going to call it enemies enemies, because there's going to be different enemies in here. Double click, right click, new folder. This one will be Fedra Soldier. If anyone doesn't know, if you've never played or seen The Last of Us, I recommend that you do. Right click, I'll create another new folder. I'll call this one Mesh, and I'll right click, create another new folder, and I'll call this one Atoms. Now, in this episode, we're not going big into the enemy behavior or anything, okay? I'm just going to give it a simple idle and a choke out, all right? So I go to my mesh. I need to find my documents. Last of Us tutorial. You'll see it in part 2. You got the Fedra FBX, so it's rigged from Mixamo. Make sure it says none and import all. Take a minute or two. Hopefully not that long. All right, cool. Just ignore this. It's fine. We got all that in here. I need to go back into my Fedra folder, into the atoms. I'm going to right click and I'm going to create. Actually, in my Fedra folder, I'm going to right click. I'm going to create a blueprint class. I'm going to select character BP underscore Fedra. I'm going to double click and open this up. It's blank. So if I click on the mesh, skeletal mesh asset, I want the Fedra soldier. I'll press E, and I'll rotate him 90. Actually, I can just go minus 90 here. It's perfect then. And then also in the location for the Z-axis, I believe it's minus 90 as well. It is indeed. Now, he doesn't have an animation montage or blueprint set up just yet, but I'm going to do that now. Okay, so I'll minimize this. I'll go into anims. I'll right click. I'll go animation. We just need a blueprint for now, just for testing. We're going to do the whole thing together in its whole episode. It might take a few parts to get the Fedra right, but we're here to do it right. Okay, so Fedra soldier, create ABP underscore Fedra. And let's right click state machine, movement, double click, open it up, add a state. Now I will call this locomotion. We'll put a blend space in here in another episode, but just for now, I need the idle. I don't have the idle. So lucky enough, it's 5.4. I can actually just retarget Joe's animations to the soldier, which is Henry. So if I go to Joel's animals folder, sorry, shouting there. I'm also going to bring in the stealth animations as well because we're going to need those. All right. So bring those into Joel's skeleton because that's where they're mapped in Portable. Just take a moment or two. Taking longer than I thought. I'm not even going to pause the video. Give me a little bit of a break, I guess. All right, cool. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to retarget the choked. Okay, so right click, retarget animation. The source is the Joel one. The target that we want is Fedra. Won't show up here because it is actually the same skeleton from Mixamo, but maybe a little bit different. So I just want to make sure that it's going to work. So what I'm going to need is I'm going to need the idle, and I'm going to need the ooh, which one is it? That was a bit silly. It is the second one, Stealth Assassination 2. All right, so let's get it. All right. Control Stealth Assassination 2. Export animations. And I want to put them in, where's Fedra? Enemies, Fedra, Anims. Export. I don't need to overwrite existing files. There's none in there. Export. And now I have them. Okay, so the Stealth Assassination, I'm going to rename it F2. I'm going to name it just Choke. So I know that's the one getting choked. Go to right click. I'm going to create an anim montage. Keep it the same name. And cool. Back into the animation blueprint then. So in here, I'm just going to put idle in for now. Later on, we'll do a blend space like I've said. Press compile. And then I also need to go back to the movement, to the anim graph, sorry. I need to come here with the default slot so I can use the montage later. Default. I join this up and press compile. He'll go idle. Perfect. It's exactly what I want. I'll go into BP Fedra. I'll go to anim class and I'll select ABP Fedra. Okay, so it's cool. Now, in here, I got to do a few different things. All right. But before I do that, I also need to create a variable in the third person character. Keep it a Boolean. Just call it can take down question mark. I'll press compile. Okay. Back to BP Fedra. All over the show. Now I want to do is I want to add a box collision. I'll call it takedown area because that's the area where I can take him or choke him out or whatever. And then I need to adjust it, of course. So W, let's move it to around here. So we want to come up behind the player. Let's resize it a bit. Maybe that works for me. Okay, so somewhere in around there. Might even, yeah, that's cool. Now we need to change the collision presets of this box, all right? So over here, scroll down, and you're going to see that it's set up like this. I want to change it to custom. And I want to, just with overlap selected, I just want to change the visibility to block because we're going to find it with the line trace by channel. Yeah. So I press compile. Now I need two events. All right. So I'll right click on takedown. I'll go to add event on component hit. No. Jeez, sorry. Right click, add event on component begin overlap, and right click on component begin end overlap. All right. So I want it to be affected by a third person character, which is Joel. Maybe I should rename that later on. But anyway, I'll duplicate this as well. And I'll join the other actor up to the object, the execution pin to the execution pin. And basically I want to set can takedown. I'll duplicate that as well for down here. And the top one's going to be true. And the bottom one stay false. Basically, if we're in the box, we can apply the takedown. If not, we can't take down. All right. Then we're going to need to create a custom event, which we'll call in the third person character blueprint later on. We need to make it in here. And we'll call it takedown because it's getting taken down. Oh, for God's sake, of course. Takedown. Why is it an error? I probably already have this saved in here somewhere when I was testing it out. Yeah. Components. What? Oh, sorry. Okay. So, let me just rename this F2. Um, Takedown. I'm going to delete this. Ah, because of the box collision. All right, my apologies. That's really silly of me. I'm going to call the box takedown area, and I'll call this. I want this to be called takedown. All right, cool. Sorry about that, guys. Had a little bit of a brain fart. Okay. All right, so from here, basically, when we're taking our character down, we want it not to be able to move. So get character movement, disable movement, disable movement. There you go. Obviously, join these up. And we want to set actor enable collision. Set actor enable collision. And then we want to play our anim montage, which is getting choked. So play anim montage. Choked montage. And I want to delay. Now, the reason I want delay, usually you would say delay the amount of the length of time of the animation, but I want them to lie there a little bit and then disappear. So I'm going to give it around 10 seconds and destroy actor. All right. Now, this is a bit of a mess here. So highlight all these, press Q, straighten them up. That's cool. All right. Compile. Now, what do we need to do? Let's actually fix our animation montages. Okay. So the choke montage, open it up. And where it says enable auto blend out, untick that because if you don't untick it, once the player is dead, the animation will bring the mesh back to standing. So no good. So untick it, press save, close it. Now we need to get Joel's as well. So Joel Adams. So we don't need this one anymore for Joel, the one because he's not going to get choked out. All right, so force delete and stealth assassination. Right click, and we will create an anim montage. Keep it the same name. It's fine. Open it up. Now see here the blend out time, change it to 0, and the blend out trigger time 0. Just so it's very jittery. These animations are free from Mixamo, so they're not perfect, all right? But it's free, so that's why we're using them. Right, so we got that. That's cool. Now what we're going to do is we are going to set up the takedown blueprints in the third person character, okay? So blueprints, third person character, event graph. Let's label this C to crouch so we know what it is. And let's make a brand new one. All right. So I want to use the T key, T for takedown. Why not? We can change this to, probably going to change everything to a control pad later on. Um, let's see. I do plan on using this as a portfolio piece, to be honest. Maybe I'll mix it up where it won't be Joel though. Or like, I'll make it my own, but let's see. I want to do a really good job on this one. All right, so we want to get a branch. Our condition is can we take down? If it's true, then we want to get a line trace by channel. But we need to know our where our start and end is. So to do that, we need to get actor location. And then we also need to get actor forward vector. And we need to come off here with the multiply node. right click on the bottom pin, change it to a float single precision, and give it a value of 250. All right. Now, from there, we need to add these two together. And this one will be our start. And this one is our end. All right. Then we come off it with a branch. And our condition is the return value. Come off the out hit with the break hit result. And then basically our hit actor is our Fedra BP. So BP Fedra. All right, so we want to cast to that. And then I want to right click and promote this to a variable so I can use it more and more. I can call it when I need it. And I need to get the camera boom. So I want the camera to change from behind me to snap into a certain socket. Okay, so I get the camera boom and I want to attach component to component. And the parent is actually our mesh. So I grab the mesh, I'll drop it on the parent. Keep it like that so you can see what's what. Keep relative, keep relative, keep relative. But the socket name is spine 1. Okay, spelt that way as well in Joe's skeleton. So keep that in mind. And then pretty much nearly done, guys. All right, so from here, what I'm going to do is get our character movement. I also want to disable the movement for Joel because he shouldn't be able to move while the animation's in play. So I'll join these up. Cool. And then I'm going to set, so obviously if I'm taking them down, I don't want to be able to spam it. Oh, that's a gate. I need to set this to be false. So set, so that way we can't spam. All right. And from here, I want to set actor transform. That's my downfall is my typing skills, I will say. Anyone that's been following me for a while or any of my students will tell you I suck. Right, I want to right click on new transform, split the pin. I'm going to do a little bit of math in here as well. All right. So, select a transform. I want to now call my variable as BP Fedra. And from there, I want to get actor transform. I want to right click split the pin as well. And the rotation goes straight into rotation. And then from here, I need to get active forward vector. Get active forward vector. I need to multiply. And this one, I need to right click, change the float. And this one needs to be minus 175. All right. And then basically, I'm going to come off the value location. I'm going to get a plus node. I'm going to put these two together. And I'm going to change that to the new transform location. And then from set actor transform, we're going to play our trusty anim montage. And it's going to be stealth assassination. That's the one that's mapped to Joel's skeleton. And then I'm going to play the takedown code that we set up in BP Fedra, this one. Okay, so to do that, let's back in here. I'm going to call the Fedra variable. Everything's stored in here now, so I can get takedown. Join this up. And I'm going to come off here. There's a little bit of a jitter with the animations, all right, because I've been practicing this. I want to get a add node and do 0.025 and then come off here with a delay. So basically, after all this happens, there's just a little bit of a delay where it doesn't jitter as much, pretty much. Okay. Set actor location is next. And we're gonna do a bit of math here as well. It's pretty much this, guys, only for our character and a different value. All right. So I'm gonna right click, get actor location. I'm gonna right click and get actor forward vector. Get actor forward vector. Where is it? Am I blind? There it is. Okay, cool. And then I'm going to multiply and change to a float single precision. So right click, float single precision. And this one, instead of minus 175, is just 175. And then I'll come off here. I want to get a plus. I want to join these up. This is going into our new location, guys. All right, nearly there, nearly there. Now, obviously, Mhm. Our character couldn't move because we disabled the movement. We need to turn it back on. So get character movement and then set movement mode and change it from none to walking. So he goes back to walking again. And then from there, we need to fix the camera as well. We need to go back to normal. So how it was to the capsule component. Let's get the camera boom. Okay. Um, attach component to component. All right. Only this time the parent is our capsule component. So capsule component is the parent. Don't need a socket because it's the capsule. Keep relative, keep relative, keep relative is fine. Um, but here we need to snap to target. Okay, so we need to go back to this one. All right, snap to the target. All right, press compile. MBP Fedra, I just want to check something in case I forgot. All right, so with this takedown area selected, go to collision and see here query only. That's fine. That should all work, guys. In theory, let's pray. Right, so I'll minimize this. I'm going to get Fedra. I'm going to just place him here in front of Joel. I'm going to delete these walls. I don't need them. I'm going to press play. And here we are, ready to rock. I'll run up behind him. Press T. That's pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. There's a little bit of a jitter here. What do you see? But that's okay, guys. It's free animations. I'm happy enough with that. We don't want to pay for anything. It's a prototype anyway, but that's pretty good. Okay. So look what we've done. We've created the crouch. We've got a flashlight in here. We have our main menu. We have a basic, very, very basic enemy AI. It's just to test out the stealth mechanic. What I want to do from there is I want to add in some, like in The Last of Us when you call up behind a player. Um, there's a little UI like press triangle to stealth kill, etc. I want to put something in there as well, and also want sound effects, and we want to also be able to pick up a weapon. Okay, so that will be the next episode where we're picking up a weapon, and we're going to do some UI on the stealth kill and add some sounds as well. Okay, I really appreciate you watching this one, guys. Thank you very much. Please sub and like. It really, really helps me. I'm trying to grow this channel. We actually are coming on in leaps and bounds. I did have a few months hiatus, but we're doing really well. Let's keep it going. Please leave a comment in the comment section. Keep it positive. At the end of the day, we're all in this together. And good luck in your game dev journey. Thank you.